Alright, so this is the video for Unit 4, Lesson 3. We're going to do some graphing today, and it's going to be a little bit faster than the graphing you are used to. We're going to do some of the shortcuts for graphing. So first off, I can graph lines that are in slope-intercept form, and I can graph horizontal and vertical lines. So these are not new to us. So hopefully this is review, and this should feel like review. So to start out here, there are three forms of linear equations. We're actually going to do one of them for this class. The other two we're going to skip. One of them we normally skip, the other one we have to skip because we're short on time now that we're not going to be in school for the rest of the year. So we're going to skip two of those. So the only one we're going to do is slope-intercept form. Okay, so the one we're doing today is slope-intercept form, and it's the one you use most often anyway, so that's why we're kind of zeroing in on this way. Okay, so it starts with y equals, or it could be f of x equals, remember for function notation, mx plus b, where these are numbers. Okay, so the m and the b are numbers. The slope goes in the spot where m is. And so whatever number is in front of x is actually the slope of the line. And if it helps you remember it, think of it, that's how the line moves from one point to the next. Okay, so think m moves. It's not why they call it m, but that might help you remember. The y-intercept is b. And think of this as it represents the point at which you begin when you're graphing. Okay, so what is a y-intercept? Well, think here's the y-axis, here's the x-axis, and if I just draw a random line, okay, right here I cross the y-axis. So whatever number that is, say that's a 2 or a 3 or whatever it is, that's the y-intercept. Okay, so it's the point at which you cross the x-axis. So identifying this, so if I give you the function in slope-intercept form, it's just a matter of identifying. You're not doing any math here, you're just identifying. So keep in mind y equals mx plus b. So m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So what's m? M's a number in front of x, that's 2. What's the y-intercept? What's the b? Well, if it's minus 3, that'd make it a negative 3. Okay. And then over here, number 2, negative 3/5 is the slope. The number by itself is 4. Okay. A little bit trickier here. Again, the number in front of x is the m, so 4. And notice it says plus b. Well, this is plus nothing right now, so that means the y-intercept would be 0. And then the last one, trying to be tricky here, we switch the order. Keep in mind, the number in front of x is the m. M is the number in front of x. Now this is a negative 3 in front of x, and then the b is going to be that's a positive 10. Okay, because there's not a negative, so it must be positive. Okay, so how we're going to use these guys when graphing is we're going to identify the slope and the y-intercept, and then use those to plot points. But we're going to plot them a lot faster than we did last unit. Okay, last unit we said pick 5 points, plug them in, and see what numbers come out. On this one, we're going to identify, so the slope is 3/2. Okay, remember that means the 3 on top, that's positive, that means up. The number on top means up or down. The number on bottom means left or right. So if it's positive, that means right. So up 3, right 2. And then the y-intercept is 1. Okay. Now, if you wanted to on this, you could, because 3/2 could have meant negative 3 over negative 2. They just simplified it to a positive. So this could have been down 3 and left 2. Remember, negative is down and negative is left. And if you notice, we'll be on the same lines here. So we start out with a y-intercept. Again, that's where you begin. B for begin, think of it that way. So I'm going to begin on the y-axis at 1. Okay. And then from that point, go up 3, right 2. So I'm going to go up 3, right 2. Then do it again, up 3, right 2. I could also go down 3, left 2. So down 3, left 2. If you notice, I'm on the same line. I'm continuing the same pattern. Okay, so down 3, left 2. Okay, and then I need to connect those. Okay, and slap some arrows on the end. So, keep in mind, if you do the exact opposite of both of these, it'll stay on the same line. You'll do the same pattern. In some cases, you can't go up anymore, so like up 3 would not be an option, so I'd have to go down and to the left instead of up and to the right. Okay, so number 2, again, the m is negative 4 sevenths. Now think of this, the negative's on one of them. It's either on the 4 or it's on the 7. Okay, and I always just put it on top. So if the negative goes with the 4, that means down 4, right 7. You could go up 4 and left 7 eventually if we had to. And then the y-intercept is at 6. So I'm going to start at 6 on the y-axis, and then from that point, go down 4, right 7. So down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I could try it again, but I'll obviously be off the graph. So that's it. That's my graph. So I connect those 2 points. Okay, no, I'm off the screen there, but okay. So you probably remember this. I'm sure you did some of this in 8th grade. I mean, it should ring a bell, hopefully. Okay, the y-intercept, negative 5. Now, what's the slope on this guy? Because there is no number in front of x, so a lot of people think it must be 0, but there is an x here. There's 1x. So if it's just x, the short wave, or the long wave right now would be 1x. They shorten up just by putting x. So then a 1 would be 1 over 1. So up 1, right 1. They're both positive, or you can go down to the left if you had to. So I'm going to, starting point, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I can go up 1, right 1. Keep doing that, or you could go down 1, left 1. Okay, so there's my graph. Let's see the next one. Again, we're kind of showing you some tricky ones here, how we can change them up. The slope is negative 3. Remember, this needs to be a ratio, so that'd be over 1. If it's a whole number, it's over 1. So I can go down 3, right 1. I could go up and left also. Depends on where I could go. And then the y-intercept, there's no number here, so that's the same thing as plus 0. So this must cross at 0. So 0 on the y-axis, and then from that point, down 3, right 1. Down 3, right 1. And if you kind of want to keep things going, I could go up 3, left 1, and notice I'm right back on the same line, so I'm following the same pattern. Okay, and then connect the points. All right. Let's see, next guy, number 5. I've got a slope of 5/3. They're both positive, so up and right. If something goes wrong and I can't go up anymore, I could also go down and left. Okay, I could go either way with that. So, and then my y-intercept is 7. So I'm going to go up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And notice I want to go up 5, right 3. I can't. I'm off the graph. If I go up 5, right 3, I'm off the graph. So now I need to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, left 3. Down 5, left 3. Okay. So that's one where this one actually worked better, because I couldn't go down and to the left, I couldn't go up and to the right. Okay, put the arrows on the end. And last one, we switch the order on you. That's no problem. Okay, the slope is negative 2. If there's no bottom number, put it over 1. So that's down and right. It could also mean up and left if we need it to. And then my y-intercept is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where I cross the y-axis. From that point down to right 1. Or up to left 1. All in the same line. Okay? And then connect those points. All right, so pretty simple, hopefully. I mean, that should all ring a bell. Now let's get to the horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, these are, if you just can memorize some of it, I think it makes it easier. So number one says y equals 4. Now notice that's the same thing as no x's plus 4. Okay, so that is still in slope-intercept form. Okay, it's just on this one, the slope is 0 over any number you choose. I'll just put 1, and the y-intercept is 4. So this crosses the y-axis at 4, and then this says go up 0, right 1. You could also say down 0, left 1. Okay, so you could put down or left. That'll get you the same thing. So up 0, right 1, up 0, right 1. Or it could go down 0, left 1. If you notice, I'm just getting a flat line. So it's almost easier to just memorize that if it's a y equals, we talked about this in the last couple lessons, if it's a y equals, it's a horizontal line, and this is where it crosses. Okay, so it's going to be a horizontal line somewhere. If it was, this was positive 4, well, if it was y equals negative 4, it'd be down 4 and put a horizontal line. If it was y equals 1, it'd be up 1. If it was negative 7, it'd be down here. It'd cross at negative 7. Okay, now x equals negative 2, that's not in slope-intercept form. We can't, there is no slope, or there's no m or b to write down because it's not in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So what this is saying is, no matter what, x equals negative 2. So if I make a whole bunch of points, no matter what, x is negative 2. Y can be anything. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter what y is, x is negative 2. So if I plot these points, I get negative 2, 1, negative 2, 2, negative 2, 3. If you notice, these are forming a vertical line. And where does it cross the x-axis at? It crosses at negative 2. Okay, so if it's an x equals, it's a vertical line going straight up and down. Okay, and that's the number where it crosses the line. So a vertical line, if it was x equals 2, it'd be over here. X equals 5 would be over here somewhere. Okay, x equals negative 7, right here. Okay, so vertical lines start with an x equals, and they have a slope that is undefined. Okay, so we can't define it because this is up 1, right 0. We can't divide 1 by 0, so that slope can't be calculated. Horizontal lines start with a y equals and have a slope of 0, so they can be calculated. Okay, so that is it. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this is review. Any point if you need to pause this, go back to it. Again, this is the video you need to watch for attendance. I probably should have said that at the beginning, but I said it now. Yeah, and you got a Math Excel assignment. I believe this one's Math Excel, which I could show this in the video right now. Oh no, I can't. Never mind. But anyway, if you have trouble, look on the agenda. There's a video I made showing you. I have the rest of the year mapped out. So if you're looking ahead to see what we're going to cover and what you need to know, you can look on the agenda. I got the link on every Sunday's agenda. It has a link in there. So all right. Hopefully this helps, and let me know if you have questions.